How many wishlists did we get from Steam NextFest? Hey everyone, I'm the developer of the wishlist on Steam now. So, I didn't just start with that without a reason. I will tell you, what did we do to get more wishlists? Be sure to watch this video to the end, so you can learn how to avoid our mistakes and get much more out of Steam NextFest than we did. So, the first thing we did was add a bunch of buttons inside the game that just yell at you that you need to add this game to your wishlist. The first one in the main menu, the second one in the pause menu, and the third one appears after you defeat the first boss. It's hard to track whether it worked. I didn't implement tracking of how many times people press this button into the game, but something tells me that it was a good decision. In the next game I will definitely track the statistics somehow. In any case, I think people who like the game certainly didn't forget to add it to their wishlist. By the way, to make it more interesting for you to play, we added achievements to our demo. Yes, as it turns out, you can add them to the demo too. I found out thanks to the Blood Thief demo, thanks to Blogist for showing that this is possible, because I didn't know. What's funny, by the way, I'll spoil it a little, we got more wishlists from the festival than people played our demo, so people often add the game based just on your Steam page. And now, onto the next thing, our Steam page. What did we do to get more wishlists? First of all, we recorded a cool new trailer that conveys what the game is about well and quickly. And of course, we made some dynamic screenshots. Our main idea when making the screenshots was that the player could easily grasp the story from the screenshot and guess what will happen next. We also wanted to show the interface that is typical for our genre, which also helps people to understand what the game is about. And just in case, we also have screenshots of our in-game journals. It's like an in-game wiki where you can read information about different enemies, items, learn how to unlock things and so on. I think this should help players understand that the game is not as lacking in content as it may seem at first, since everything takes place in one location. We also changed the description. For example, our short description used to sound like this: an evil deity casts you onto the arenas and forces you to slay? No worries, collect lots of artifacts and weapons, get unique combinations and get out of this mess. It's relatively clear what the game is about, but it's very vague. What deity, what kind of arenas, what kind of artifacts, it's not very clear. Now this has been fixed and the description looks like this. Divine Wish is a fast-paced roguelike shooter with various classes and special abilities. Find your playstyle, survive waves of enemies and use artifact to change the tides of the battle. Die, learn, adapt. Now the player immediately understands what the game is about, what genre it is, what gameplay cycle it has. We also reward the long description of the game with the same idea, and we also added the GIFs to the description, thanks to which it all began to look more interesting. Of course, the GIF that asks you to wishlist the game is at the top. We also streamed throughout almost the entire festival. Again, I don't have any clear statistic on whether it helps, but it seems to me that it did. I'll explain why I think it helped. First, our game was displayed on another additional tab with live streams, which is kind of a plus because there weren't many games that were streaming. Of course, we mostly had 4 viewers there, but still I think some people came from there. Plus, streams are also displayed on the main page of the game, which is a good way to show players real gameplay of our game, which should inspire more trust in our game. And while I'm peeling garlic here, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's talk about where we went wrong and what we could done better. Let's start with the header. I think it's far from ideal, I think it does not reflect our game well and it could be done better. But honestly, I'm not a professional in this and I couldn't make it better. I think in the future we will turn to a specialist with this issue. Second, our page was translated into a very small number of languages. Of course, we fixed this on the 3rd day of the festival, but by then the main traffic has already passed. I think we lost quite a lot of potential audience because of this. Third, our tutorial level was broken. Unfortunately, it was a very unnoticeable bug that we did not immediately discover. In short, we recently released a big update to our game where we added a new class system with classes being stickers. It's simple, you pick a certain sticker and you get a buff and a debuff, so that is balanced, or you get some alternative ability. For example, we have changed our katana attack. Instead of one shooting a single target, it's replaced with this white piercing projectile. And all would be fine, but we have a tutorial level where you need to pull yourself towards an enemy with a katana. And what do you think the problem was? Yeah, I accidentally forgot to change one variable, and it turned out that the first time we entered the game we had this alternative katana by default, instead of the normal one. And it was impossible to complete the tutorial with it. Since that update, about 100 new players played our demo, and all of them couldn't complete the tutorial. God, this was so embarrassing. And to correct the situation, after we fixed this, we decided to add a feedback form to the game so that in case of problems like this, players could promptly report them to us. First, we went to the festival when we had some wishlist, namely 100 or so. The funny thing is that the more popular your game is, the better Steam promotes it. That is, the more wishlist you have, the more Steam shows your game to people, which makes your game even more popular. And I think at this point it's time to show our cards, and how many wishlists did we get in the end? More than 300, which if compared to the initial 100 is a very solid result. Our audience has increased twice, and the same can be said about the players. There were 111 of them before the fest, and now there are as many as 272, that's 2.5 times more. This is still very little for a successful launch of the game. It would be perfect to have about 7k wishlist at the start, but never mind, this game is still in development, maybe by the time we will finish it will come together by some miracle. In any case, I'm grateful to everyone who watches this video and plays our game. We work for you and we really appreciate and love each player. And so, as not to lose us, join our Discord. We will publish news about the games there. There is 0 of them for now, but as soon as someone comes and writes to us in the Discord channel like, guys, where is the news? You promised, why did I come here? Then we will immediately write something. And on this note, I will say goodbye, thank you very much for watching and see you soon!